What's up, everybody? Let's check sound and audio video. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm a little bit tired. Slept like 4 hours, just 4 hours last night. Working on the podcast, other podcast. Was a great night yesterday. Um, guys, we did well. So let me know who's here. See some eyeballs at the back. Today will be just for you guys. Um, Questions on your process, your bidding process. And so this will be for you guys to share some of your success stories that you are having. Um, then, if any challenges, you see if I have some input about how to fix that. Benjamin, thank you, thank you. Greetings, Njano, Chief, thank you. Um, so today is kind of like your day, you guys' day. Mr. Lante, thank you. Throw questions and we're gonna see how many questions I can get through in about 30 minutes. But um, so if you are here and you've not subscribed to the other channel, please, I posted a link out there. Please do that. We really appreciate it. There's some good information on that platform as well. Everything else that is not building related. So there's some good content, there's some great guests, a couple of guys. We are inviting some ladies also to join us on that platform. We could use some ladies to hear what their thoughts on things. Okay. So if you have any questions about building land stuff like that, we can get it going. I just wanted to, give you this time to just throw it out there. Other than that, I'll keep just telling what is going on. Anyway, so as you can see, if you guys are building, prices, it's all over the place. So that put people in two train of thought, right? It's like either I do things now and I do it later, right? And sometimes it's very difficult financially to do things now, because you were not planning for uh, 20% increase in things. With iron rods, the increases are going on like week by week. And so everybody's feeling the squeeze and the burn. So this is where efficiency becomes very, very important, right? And that doesn't mean you quit. It's just like the urgency, these things do happen. Like I said, I've seen it before. And you just got to prioritize things and then maybe put other things on hold and then just do the project and stuff like that. Because it looks like it's going to be tough couple of years, stuff like that. So, but it can be done. All can be done. I've posted the link here to come in because I want to, as much as like I do my best to motivate you guys. Um, I actually get great motivation when I see you guys also flourishing and accomplishing all the dreams that you have and goals. And as long as you stay on top, in due time, you'll finish. Stuff, but it's not a race. It's about seeing it through. Okay, and then when you done, you can enjoy all that you have worked hard for. Um, so that's a great thing. Now, uh, the rainy season is gonna come right in a couple of months, and so you have to factor in storing materials and all that kinds of stuff, right? Unfortunately, cement, you can only store them for a couple of weeks, and some of the cement, companies actually were guaranteeing prices for a month or so, but they've stopped doing that. I think maybe if you buy maybe $1,000, maybe they might hold it out for you. I think between $500 to $1,000, they might hold it out for 2 weeks, and stuff like that. So, but so there's so many things we so little we can control, but it doesn't stop. You keep doing what you need to do, um, to get your stuff done. So I want to know, so who's building here and where's the location if you'd like to share what stage, um, and then stuff like that. So one of the things like I'm really happy about is the new crop of generation. Um, like I would say 40 and under or something like that. I think I'm really proud of them because they really really actually are stepping up to maybe make a stake, make decisions, and have a choice in their life outcomes, no matter where they are in the world. It used to be, when we grew up, or little, was more like everybody's just depending on the parents' inheritance, to maybe, and usually it's like maybe the farm or maybe a house or something like that. But now it's kind of like everybody, everybody is trying to go there and do that. And that's very remarkable. That's a big shift. So I mean, I would probably say this generation is building more. When we get to our parents' age, I think we would have probably built about four times the rate of what they did, and that's awesome. That's unprecedented achievement. And that's how you keep going, right? Um, and so I'm really really proud of that, and it's like I love to see stories of people just doing this, and I don't care even if it's like you bought your plot and you started your foundation. It's like I see that and I say, you know what, this is a great story because I know where I started, and stuff like that. And so I love those kind of stories. Sandy saying, being from prom, roofing stage, doing the wall. Yes, yes. Roofing. So there's a couple of series. When you build, like so foundation of your job is exciting. Because you see the dream take up, and then you do your block work, and then you do your roofing. There another place that you actually begin to see the shape, and another moment is like when you do plastering. Um, then it's kind of like you know, you get really excited, and then the windows come in, and then paint eventually. So the stages, and then these are all like exciting moment, but it feels like never ended, right? Because you put money into this thing, it looks like you're not making progress, but you are making a lot of progress. Eventually you are going to get there, but the result, once you're completed and you live in the house, man, you would have done it again if you have to go back, right? And so I commend you guys for doing that. um pam, pam. Yes, yes. So yeah, feeling like I always say, foundation is my favorite, right? It's my favorite. So it's it's like, finishing is great, but I think foundation is just because most people unfortunately never start, right? They have this idea in their head, they want to do something, but they never really start. So to be able to start is very, very, very important. So feeling, yeah. So get a sign. Yeah, so the rain will come, and there's nothing wrong allowing the rain to settle down the feelings and stuff like that. So the rain wouldn't damage anything. So that is fine. You know, so that's good. Roofing stage. Yeah. Oh, balance and trans metal. Okay, wood. Well, it depends. The thing with metal sometimes too is like, metal is going to absorb heat more than the wood is. And the wood, make sure like you're using the right wood. Make sure it's treated. Um, because other than that, if you install it, then you have to go treat it. It's a mess. So make sure it's treated. It's treated very, very well and dried. And they use the right wood based on um the roofing system. So if you're using like real clay, then you're gonna use different type of wood because clays are heavy. But so make sure that but maybe also, the last time I haven't looked at the metal trusses. The last time I looked at it was many, many years ago, 4 years ago. So I don't know what the prices looks like now. Um, so you might have to check and always weigh. If they use the metal, make sure it's a strong quality metal as well, and that kind of stuff. So because roofing. And if the roofing, the good thing about it is like, if the roofing sheets are done well, expect to get at least 20 years, right? With good installation. So it will be a while before in 20 years there'll be probably a new style and that kind of stuff. Um, yes, yes, yes. Enjoy the process. I tell you this. It is not the destination is important, but the process is what creates more excitement. Granted, it's all the headache and a lot of money, a lot of work, stress sometimes. But I look back, I miss the process. Like I don't even remember when I finished. I think, but I remember, when I started the first time, August 12, 2012. When I started, like, putting things on the ground. So enjoy the process, right? Enjoy the process. Just do slab. Just do slab for the decking. Do slabs. Make sure. So if the decking is open in terms of open means it's exposed to the element, the sun and everything. So and to the rain, then make sure that you are applying kind of like um, a membrane that will prevent the water from seeping into. Or actually, after I do the membrane, the best things to do just do kind of like terrazzo on it. Okay, yeah, terrazzo is very good. So I would say slab. Do the slope it. You always sloping is very, very important. I learned a lot from the first house. So areas you want to slope, all slabs need to be sloped from the front of the house. All the terrace, the porches need to be sloped, going down away from the entrances. And that will help you because Ghana it can rain very heavily, right? And always elevate. Get a lip minimum. Okay, minimum from when you step to the porch, step to the balcony, anything like that. You gotta have at least minimum. I would say about 6 inches, right? Because sometimes if it's like that 1 inch and 2 inches, if the rain pours heavily, it can get into the inside the room. So slope, and then obviously when you do your landscape, slope. Okay, so slab, um, right. So it's just even reading all the stuff, right, is getting me excited because I want to see progress. I want to see you guys make progress, because I know you guys work super hard and you guys want to go back home and have a peace of mind and rest. Like I said, renting is okay, but not everybody. I think there's a big difference between renting and then having your own. It's like it's equivalent to buying a brand new car on your own right away than leasing a car, right? It's a whole different thing. And but everybody's also in a different financial situations and also what age they are in your life. But if you can build, just build. Find the right team, find the right guys. Learn from the process, and then so you can execute right. Layout oversize always. Um, because those of us that build a big size, we all going back and doing half the square footage, right? Because it's very, very expensive. Maintenance alone, it get really expensive. It can get a little bit dusty in Ghana. So, the Kaswa house, like, I spend a few $100 a month to get everything going, making sure the glass are clean, the floors, it's mop and all that stuff. So they add up, they add up. Takes more to cool down the place, and so every foot add up. Okay. Any more questions? No land stuff. So just keep the spirit alive. Keep getting these projects in. Just get them done. And then soon you're gonna be making progress because um everybody's feeling the heat. You know, everybody's feeling the heat. But you just got to, and I think this is what is going to separate those who really want it or you want to play around with these things. Because even let's say you come up with some money, you do projects this year, uh, um, and if you wait next year, it's going to cost you more. So there's a couple of things. So there's a fine line between ceiling height. Okay, there is, so in the West, like in the U.S., what is it? I've seen eight. Eight is normal, maybe 9 feet high. But in the tropics, it helps. So I usually aim for 12, but it's very tricky getting exactly 12 because of the block size and the mortar that we put in between. So it's usually I'm around 11 and a half or to 12 and a half, right? Because you can, unless like you build like a concrete wall and then you can get exactly the 12. So 11, so anything, I think anything 10, 10 is good. 12 max. You don't want to, we don't go past 12 because a couple of reasons. Because so if the room is small, right, and you start going up, there's a point that you reach that, there's a height that you reach that it makes it even look more narrow, right? So as you go up height wise, the room looks bigger, but then there's a point that is kind of like diminishing return, right? That it looks um, uh, even smaller. And also you have to factor in if you're doing second decking or flow and stuff like that. Structurally, you don't want to go that high. So I would say, 10. 10 would be, as I would say, 10 minimum, because we have to put in the ceiling fan, right? And if you're 6 foot and over and the ceiling fan is on and you're lifting your hands up in the sky, it could be a problem. Another thing too is like when you go that high, those of you who like chandeliers and stuff like that, it gives you options. So you got to play with it. You have to play with that kind of stuff. So I would say minimum 10, max 12. Okay. And so yeah, so usually this is what happens. Usually the ground floor is higher. You always want the ground floor to be higher. And then the second floor, the last floor is like maybe give and take a foot shorter than whatever it is. So remember I'm saying 10 being minimum. But if let's say if you do 10 minimum for the first floor, then I would say keep 10 on the second floor. That's the minimum. But if you do, let's say 11 and a half or 12 on the first floor, then the second floor you can do like a foot out. So minimum 10, and then stuff like that. It makes a big difference. It makes airflow very very important. It makes the room looks a little bit larger. It just create a little bit better vibe. You don't feel like the ceiling's on top of your head. You see what I'm saying? Because then you become more claustrophobic. So you look up and the ceiling is right there, or you lift your hand, you can touch the ceiling. That's not good. Okay, so 10 feet. Sometimes you are limited. You are limited by. So remember, if you get a floor plan that is 9 foot, right, and then it's a second level, depending on where the stairs is that anytime that you go a foot higher, you have to give it a width. Okay, so whatever you increase up, you must go width, and you do that because you don't want your staircase to be so steep that on a good night, you know you roll over or somebody falls down and it's a problem, right? So you have to balance that. Any height you go, any inches or foot you go with, and sometimes you have the room to do it. That sometimes you don't. So all these things, these discussions we have in there when people are doing like blueprints and stuff like that. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Um, and yeah, so it's all about details and then planning and getting, because there's a bunch of things that make, not all houses are the same. Some people are able to make their house become a home, right? And that is a combination of not just the style of the home. It's a combination of layout, paint is magic. Paint can change a mood like you would not believe it. I think probably after layout, painting is the second strongest thing that can actually make a room, make it feel more inviting, or make a room kind of like you get a, get his negative vibes, right? And so and so I would say this: always respect the architectural design, right? And also, if you're doing modern, use modern paint. If you're using Mediterranean style, then you got to use a warm paint, right? The oranges and that kind of stuff. And so, but there's a balance, right? Of so when you're doing the paint, you're looking at the ceiling. Ceiling always should be white. Um, the flooring, I think, should be medium light, and then that will give you the paint. The paint you go too dark is gonna be cozy, but then it's gonna be small. If you go too light, it's gonna be open, bright, and stuff like that. So different rooms, bedrooms cozy, dining room open, living room open, so lighter colors. If the bathroom is small, go light colors. It's gonna make it feel big, and you got to play with it. And also then the transition, right? The transition matters from when you transition from one paint to another one, because sometimes you go here and you go here, it's like, wow, what happened here, right? Where's my nose itching today? And so you have to make sure like it flows very, very well, and that's something we discuss as well. And so you can start putting some photos together. Look, you can just go and say, okay, warm bedroom colors, right? And you can get that and stuff like that. Just and start putting your videos together and stuff. I say go POP, go POP. Don't do false POP. Go POP. But even with the POP, also keep. I think so. POP was started like in the 70s was a big thing. Then went away, and then it's coming back. I always the thing with POP is that I think moderate is better. I mean, they have this unique design, but eventually what happens is like it can be too much because you want to highlight a lot of things in the house, right? And so the POP is the ceiling work is just one aspect, right? But you don't want it to overshadow everything else that people don't even see, like the column designs. They don't even see, the layout and that kind of stuff. So it's a balance thing. So if it's a modern house, then keep it more modern with this. Not really a lot of design. You just see, uh, it's just very simple and stuff like that. So make your designs minimum, right? Minimum stuff like that, because they do make a difference. Because even after some time, after several years, you're gonna be used to it, right? You may want something, but I would say POP. And I'll pick POP over plasterboard as well. Okay. So good question, good question, good question. So you have to factor this into like if you are doing so assuming let's say you go 11 and a half, 12 inches, whatever. You have to factor also the type of ceiling designs you are going to make, because if you're going to have POP with a drop ceiling like a foot, so you just lost a foot, right? So you have to figure it out. You got to figure, especially the first floor because it's the so the concrete, and so usually the POP even with the drop ceiling they'll go about 6 inches and stuff like that. But that is 6 inches that you are losing. Then you're gonna have maybe a fan or chandelier. But ideally, anything that is about 11, will give you some room for that. So right. Um, so it's very important to factor that in, right? To the ceiling design and stuff like that. So maybe you have to reduce how the ceiling drop to not a foot instead of like maybe half a foot. Okay. Um, and the reason why, so the second one I'm doing is I'm gonna get 11 and a half foot because I'm not doing a drop ceiling. I'm just going to do POP with no design. You know, not necessarily. I don't think I want to do any design because it's a modern home. I want to keep it like that. Um, maybe just do some things at the edges, but just clean. I want it to be clean look. And then I'm going to use the lighting system. There's some places that have recess, and so those will have the POP with a recess, so to do that. But then I'm gonna use the lighting system, and then maybe chandelier and stuff to highlight a bunch of stuff. Okay. Um. So filling, yeah, laterite is fine. Um. So you want to, I mean, how big are these rocks? If they are super big, then you want, if they are bigger than, let's say, my fist, then you want to remove them. Okay. You want to remove them because what you want the soil to compact. You don't want any gaps in between that. But if it's smaller rocks, laterite, you always get some rocks in there, 2 to 3 inches of rocks in there. But if it's big, huge rocks, then you want to just throw them out. You can take those rocks actually when you do your pillars, throw them in, and pour the concrete in there. But you want to remove them from the from the filling because the worst thing is eventually something happens there. It moves around and then there's an air bubble, air pocket underneath there, and eventually it's gonna drop. It's gonna drop into that. So if they are big, just remove them. Small ones, it's fine. Okay, so let's see. Let's give a shout out. See who's here. Some few people join us. We have Richard here, and D. Mr. Quay is here. I am Mr. Max is here. Okay, so I'm going to we're gonna go maybe 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna wrap it up. All right. So keep plugging at it. Keep plugging at it. Maybe someday we're gonna do like we're gonna meet in Ghana. Say the Builders Conference, right? Then we're gonna have everybody come over there, and then people can just talk about the stories, and also inspire other people. Because building is a metaphor for life. Um, when you are building a place, basically what you are saying is that I'm taking my life into my own hands and making decisions for myself. I'm not waiting for the outcomes. I'm not going to let somebody dictate, on stuff else. So that is very, very important, right? So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Like most of us grew up and we probably live in Chamber Hall with like 10 people in it, and for to grow and build 4 or 5 bedrooms, 6 bedrooms, and stuff like that is remarkable, right? In just one generation, it's very remarkable. So it's a great achievement. Um, I know it's not easy, but the thing that helped me is that I have incredible people that I surround myself with, and we are kind of like building and trying to do businesses, and that really helps because we share information and stuff. On the other podcast, right? Another podcast that if you are here and you have not subscribed, please go. I'm gonna post the link here. Please go and subscribe. It is very, very important because we have people, we have incredible guys over there who are also who care about Ghana, and but we are not afraid to hold it, the country responsible, like or to have to speak and share our thoughts on what we feel like the country should move towards to. And because when you love something, you challenge it, and when you want something, you love something, you want it to be better, and so we do that, and so it's an incredible group. So watch those. We post this, like what is it, 40 videos now. So look over there, um, just to know that I know how it feels to build, and sometimes nobody supports you. I know how sometimes you build, and then your partner in the house doesn't want to get involved, right? And so all these things are very, very important, right? All these things are very, very important. And so hang in there. You should not ever allow or give away a dream of doing something for yourself, right? You should never give that up. Okay. We have one brave person, Joyce Benjamin. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sure, I'm fantastic. You?
I'm doing very well. Welcome to join us. What do you
Thank
have
you.
to share with us?
Oh, I'm building at Committee 25 at the
Sure.
roofing stage. So I posed the question on the whether we should go for wood or metal trusses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it so two-story building, right, or one?
Uh, there's ground floor and then there's the upper one. So it depends.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
1 story building.
So
Yeah.
okay. And so you just debating to see what trust you should go with, within and or then or metal.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what roofing style are you using? Is it like slope roof? Is it what hidden
Slope. I
roof?
think it's a 30 degrees angle. So slope one, and I'm using the
Okay.
roofing tiles. Yeah.
So the roofing tiles, how heavy are those? Are you using like the um not the clay tiles, but just the other
No,
one
the
that's
stone
similar?
coated roofing tiles. Yeah, they look
Okay,
like the clay one, but not the clay one. They are quite light. Yeah.
okay. So I think and if you end up using the wood, so those one that they're slightly heavier than aloe zinc, right? But they're not like the clay,
Exactly.
right?
Yes, you are
They
right.
they're not heavy as the clay. But that design is nice though. I like, I when I built the first house, I looked at that design because it simulated the old clay styles. So whatever it is so one thing I'll tell you is like if you use wood, you have to really really buy quality wood, right? And sometimes what happens is, Accra, we don't nobody's cutting wood in Accra, right? It's coming
Yeah.
from some other region. So ideally, if you can find somebody who knows wood well, and this will even give you some savings, is to actually go to that region once you get a quantity, right? And bring it to the site.
Okay. Okay.
And then because then what happens usually is that when they go, they select the best wood, and the ones that is left, they bring it to Accra.
I see.
So that is one thing that you can look into that. But then the other thing will be the installation, right? And make sure that also if you are doing POP, that you are actually also supporting the joints, right? Because the POP is heavy, especially if you have like big space, right?
Yeah.
So have your carpenter support all the joint, you know, just do them now, because it's easier to do them now than when the POP start, dropping, and you want to go in there and start doing that stuff. So, and once you do that, then it's gonna be fine. But I haven't looked at the prices of the Meta Trust yet. I looked so many years ago, but check to see. There's pros and cons, right? The Meta, if it's built well, will also last you very well. The wood is, it has to be quality and treated,
Yeah.
right? And so whoever is treating that, you want to make sure they treat all of them, right? They treat all of them very well for termites and that kind of stuff. So other than that, yeah. Other than that, if it's treated well, it's a good word. It will last you for the duration of the building. You know.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Benjamin. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. I think there's a question here. No, it's true. It's like it. The money is the thing that takes a bite. But after that, I feel like everybody that I've seen building is very, very it's much more happier. They are focused, right? It's like they they feel like they're in control of their life. And whenever you feel like you're in control of your life, you are going to be happier, much happier than that. Okay, so you feed off that. So the goal is to surround yourself with people in that space, right? People in that space that are doing the same thing, so you can kind of like motivate each other and stuff like that. Because I know they can tell you how their bank is drained. I'm going through that as well too. So it's just one of those things. But it's true. You feel like a grown up. Feel like a grown up, and you are a grown up because grown up takes responsibilities, right? And so keep on doing it, and you'll get as soon as well. Okay. Yes, I think the Beatles conference will be good. It's like we'll see. So you guys keep doing what you need to do, and then when the time is right, we're gonna meet, and then with the future leaders, we are taking a stand and say, listen, it's great if mom and dad can give us a house, but we want our own, right? And there's nothing like your own. There's nothing. Even if your father gave you a mansion and you build 3 bedroom, it's that 3 bedroom, the feeling you get from that is gonna be more than a mansion. Okay, so get your own done. Also, like what it helps you with, especially if you have children, is they get to see the ambition of mom and dad, and that's certifying them also to one model of life. So remember, kids will do most of the stuff you did compared to what you are telling them, right? So, and bring them on board, bring them to the site, get them engaged. Anytime I'm doing these projects, I'm getting the kids that I bring them over there. Ask them, what do you think? Bring them, just nourish that mind. Ivy, thank you. I hope you're having fun at the party. Um, yes, so it's good. It's like, yeah, it's a good investment. Because when you retire, or even girls to retire, it's like, and the interesting thing though is this, like, I've stayed in some nicest hotel, but I can tell you, man, there's nothing like when you come to your place. It's just like, it's phenomenal. And I want you guys to, enjoy and taste this. Okay? Yeah, yeah. So yeah, metals are going to be expensive. They are going to be expensive. Um, um and so the wood, like I said, good wood, treated, install well, will be fine. Will be fine. So there's certain occasions sometimes to um people use the metal, because so what usually happens sometimes too with the metal, when they construct it, they can get certain length. Um and then, like, some of those mega churches that is like one level, you can see sometimes they use the metal over there. So, but for the average person, it's very expensive, very expensive. But anyway, 2 minutes and we wrap it up. All right, Eric is here. Thank you for joining. Let me see. So keep doing what you're doing. Subscribe to the other channel, please. Click the like button. Also, if you know how to want to get in touch with us, you can visit us. royalconsultingsolutions.com. Check out the website. We have stuff in terms of building land acquisition, and stuff like that. And my goal is, I've probably done more videos on land, I think, than anybody on YouTube. Series on land. And but for some, I'm still finding, you know, still hearing stuff that people are still making the mistakes, and I really don't know why. I really don't know why. So I'm trying to make sure these kind of videos get to them, because people are still, just heard somebody lost another $35,000, to some lands not far from where I am right now, and that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to, to go through to have that. And so let's push this video out so they get it, so that they can, if you can work with us, great. I think we're one of the best, in terms of quality and authenticity and honesty, reliable. We got that. But at least if you have your own situation that you want to do something, at least you educate and you protect yourself, right? Put yourself. So that's what it's about. There's more room at the table. We all can win, because the tax at hand is great, and we're gonna need everybody succeeding to do it. Okay. Um. Well, welcome. You're welcome. So, Eric, one more question, and then what? With lifetime in mind, Metal Wood, Tony. So so this is how you're gonna determine quality of the product, right? So quality meaning, if the metal the composition of the metal, and the coating. They have to coat it, right? Because you know, if it's exposed to moisture and that kind of stuff, all things will rise, over time. So when you have that, and I mean, if I mean, we're talking about a long time. We if the wood is done properly and everything is done properly, I mean, we're talking about 30, 40 years. And if the metal is done properly, then the metal is going to outlast the wood, right? Preferably you're keeping it from moisture, or it's coated to prevent moisture from coming in. And sometimes too, it's just like, that 10,000 CDs more. Can I take the money and maybe like do a borehole or something like that? Sometimes, it's not that easy. But I would say that, if you get a quality wood treated and you store it well, you'll be fine. It's not something that you should worry about. But if you got the money like that, then you can go to the metals as well. It's the same thing. So I'll put this out there to you guys now, because people will reach out to me sometimes. They'll be like, corridors cement, or now they're doing like concrete cement in which they mix chippings, right? Which one is stronger with a regular blocks? So here's the thing: cement block has been going on for thousands of years, right? And so here's the thing: if the ratio is done well, if the ratio of a cement block, uh, so ratio to cement sand, and everything is done properly, it's maintained, and the manufacturing process is done well, it will last you for 200 years. They'll be fine. You're not gonna do anything. Um, so the reason why corridors and all the other things came about, because people were just making crappy cement, and so then they started thinking the cement is weak. And so when you go buy these concrete blocks, it's a little bit pricey than your normal cement blocks. Um, but I'm saying that I wouldn't spend money on that, right? I'd rather do the ratio and cut my cement blocks and take that little bit extra, even if it's two cities, they add up, because right, two cities, times 5,000, right? It's gonna be 10,000 CDs, right? There, you can take that money and do something, right? And so it's just, and there's no guarantee even with those, the product was even done right. So you never know. So usually when another things come, because people are not doing the initial thing very well. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Don't want to keep this long. Wow, time flies. I appreciate you guys taking the time. Subscribe to the other channel, please. Share the video and reach out to us if you have any questions, how we can help you and stuff. Thank you always. Thank you.